Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It's another day, innit? It won't be this way, but if it's another day, it means it's another show. 7 shows a week. 7 shows a week we do now.
Amazing.
7 shows a week. Anyway, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine Wednesday on what is currently called the 40k show. I saw Adrian's suggestion. Now I'll call it the Warhammer show. I'm kind of into it, but we'll keep it as is for now. Basically, I'm trying to keep it 40k relevant at the moment because there was an article released today about Age of Sigmar list building in Age of Sigmar version 4, right? Season 4. Edition 4. 4th edition. And it got me actually genuinely thinking about 40k and 40k list building because Joe and I spoke about 40k list building quite a lot recently. And so we're going to look over that article and how they decided to do it for 4th edition Sigmar and think about the way we currently have it in 10th edition 40k and kind of do a bit of compare and contrast, I reckon. If you haven't already, though, and you've joined us, there's 80 plus people already here. Please make sure you smash all of those magical YouTube buttons for us. Hit that like button if you enjoy the content. Smash subscribe if you haven't already. Sub numbers are starting to grow again, and hit that bell notification every single time if you want to be notified every single time we go live or drop a new video. Alternatively, you can become a member of the Great Hall if you get yourself a membership by being gifted, or get one yourself if you are in the Discord server, !Discord. Then that also tells you every single time we go live or drop a new video, and it's significantly more efficient than YouTube is. Significantly more efficient than YouTube is, right? Cool. Anywho, I do have my glamorous assistant.
And she'll be in just any second now. She's on her way.
Luce, Luce bought me a present today, chat.
I did.
Presents, plural, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she actually braved a Games Workshop all by herself.
The one in Southampton is really friendly, and they're just so amazing in there. They're enthusiastic, no questions too silly. They're brilliant. So I don't see it as like an act of bravery anymore.
I mean,
the Coventry one was brave. That was
feral.
brave.
you in fact went into a Warhammer shop and bought presents. I said this in the Thanes. I put a message in the Thanes earlier and said, today is a day that shall be noted down in history. Because Luce not only bought me presents, but she bought me models as presents.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. We were chatting this morning. This is relevant to Kaz's super chat that's going to come through any moment now when Amy decides to wake her ass up. And what happened was, I was talking about this morning.
How's the Llama Riders?
Thanks, Kaz. And I was like, Element Games are out of Llama Riders. And they said, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, Llama Riders? What's Llama Riders? Like, elves riding llamas. You chatting shit. And I showed her the Lumineth unit that is Llama Riders, and you couldn't get them Element, they're out of stock. And Lucy went into the Games Workshop today and asked for Llama Riders.
Well, I walked in there, and it's quite busy because it's Easter holidays. So a few teenagers in there, which is always lovely to see. And then Sam, who was working today, sort of waved at me, and then I walked over to him, and he was like, what are you after? And I said, Llama Riders. And he went, what? And then I didn't realise that Pete, who also works there, was right next to me, and his head popped up and he went, I know which ones he means.
I like the fact that was it as well. I know which ones he means. Assumed it wasn't
yeah.
for you.
Oh, no, I'm not the one doing Warhammer.
No, yeah.
No. Or
Yeah.
Age of Sigmar.
Assumed it was for me. I know which one he means. This is like, oh, brilliant, it's not for me then. And off he
possibly.
went and got 2 boxes of Llama Riders. Yes,
Yeah.
I am talking about Hurricane wind charges. This is exactly what we're talking about, Lekman, you know.
I think they look like things out of Jurassic Park.
Yeah, well, I mean, potentially.
They look more like that than llamas.
I think they look cool as shit, so that's why I wanted Llama Riders, right? Anywho, right, so one of the reasons why that was a topic of conversation is obviously because we're excited about Age of Sigmar here on the channel at the moment. We've been talking about loads, right? And I'm conscious that we're kind of doing AOS to death at the moment because we're all so excited about it. So I had it in my mind tonight that tonight's the 40k show, we'll talk about 40k. But then they released a very interesting article on Warhammer Community about the new Age of Sigmar list building. And I was like, oh, I kind of want to cover the article actually because I'm quite excited about it. It looks good to me. And I thought, you know what, we actually can make this 40k relevant. So I think, personally, one of the biggest problems with 10th edition 40k is at the list building stage. And what I mean by that is there is no minimum requirement apart from you have to have a character for a warlord. And then you take whatever you want. And the only other restriction is the normal rule of 3 for data sheets, unless you are a battle line unit, in which case it's restricted to 6 of those units instead of just 3 of those units. So is there anything that stops a player from taking 6 captains if 3 are in Terminator armor and 3 are standard captains? No, he can take 6 captains. Is there anything to stop a player taking 9 captains if 3 are in Terminator armor and 3 are standard captains and 3 are in jump packs? No, you can take 9 captains, right? And I thought, that's a bit naff. And then you don't have to take any line infantry. You don't have to. It's just a bit. I'm not. It's. I don't really love it. I don't love the way it works. And part of the reason is because these characters are all unit upgrades nowadays anyway, rather than, or the majority of them at least, rather than actual standalone characters.
Today a friend who's new to 40k asked how many characters was the right amount to have, and I just had to explain there isn't any. You should just pick the characters that complement your army build.
Thanks to 10 Depths Walker. Yeah, list building's in a weird place. So in the past, I feel like, and I get what they've done it right, accessibility-wise, it's like, you know what, take what you want. Take whatever you want, and you're fine. But you're not, because it's not take what you want, because you can't put that character with that unit, and you can't put that character with that unit, and that character can only go with that unit, and it gets a bit messy. At least in the old Combined Arms attachment, for example, when we're talking a long time ago now, it was a 1 HQ, 2... Right, hands up in chat, by the way, nearly 200 people right now, hands up in chat if you miss the Combined Arms detachment. Or is it just me? 1 in chat if you miss Combined Arms attachment, 2 in chat if you do not miss Combined Arms attachment, right? Let me know which one it is. I really miss Combined Arms, which was minimum 1 HQ, 2 troops, additional HQ options, I think were like 2, 6 additional troops or something like that, and then 3 HQ, 3 fast attack, 3 heavy support, 3 elites. And I don't know whether this is just nostalgic or whether I actually think it was good. I actually kind of miss the old Combined Arms. And it was a really like 10th. I'm thoroughly enjoying myself, to be clear. There's just things I would tweak, and this is one of those things. List building is one of those things that I think needs to be a bit different because it's a bit messy right now. Right? Anywho, we're going to look at the AOS article. We'll talk about what they've announced for Age of Sigmar and whether we think, and this is where we make it 40k related, whether we think this is the sort of thing we'd like to see in the future in 40k, or whether we'd like to keep it just as it was, right? And there's no wrong answer here, chat, by the way. I'm not here to tell you that this is the right way of doing it and the current way 40k does it is wrong, nor am I here to tell you that 40k does it currently the right way. There's no, I don't actually have an answer here. This is the interesting point. I don't actually have an answer here. Just want to know what you guys think. So I'm going to get it up, and the article. Here we go. 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 We'll screen share. We're going to read through how building your army has changed in New Age of Sigmar. I'm going to think about it for 40k perspectives. So if you even look at things like Horus Heresy and the Old World, there's a significant amount of restrictions that goes on in terms of list building. You have to have a certain percentage that are like core troops, or only this much of a percentage can be a giant monster, or only this much of a percentage can be a behemoth, or whatever it might be. And I think some of those restrictions used to exist in Age of Sigmar, currently at least exist in Age of Sigmar, and they're potentially changing them for being a little bit more free-flowing. But this is like free-flowing, but with some restrictions, whereas 40k is kind of free-flowing, do whatever you want. It's up to you. Do what you want, right? Jacob Ward started. Thank you so much for the gifted membership. Obviously, our target tonight is always the 100 gifted. There's 200 people in chat. If half of you gift 1, we'll make it. If all of you gift 1, we'll definitely make it. If all of you give 5, we'll be close to the record that Lucy says I'm not allowed to talk about. Anyway, how building your army has changed in New Age of Sigmar. We've already given you a taste of what's changing in the new edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, dug into what modular rules mean for you, and talked a little about the knife edge decision making behind the priority role. Today it's time to examine army composition. In the current edition, armies require at least 1 leader unit and a minimum of 3 battle line units, or 2 for 1,000-point games, along with other restrictions on behemoths, reinforcements, and so on. You can slot your units into various battalions that confer bonuses, such as the ever-popular Battle Regiment, which allows you to deploy up to 9 units all at once, as the player who finished setting up first is rewarded with the option to take the first turn.
Member retinues, Pepperidge Farm members.
I remember. Thanks, Kaz. You have to balance low drops with list building flexibility, creating tension between picking exactly what you want and seizing the first turn tactical advantage. The new edition maintains these incentives of risk and reward, but takes a new route to emphasize flavor and flexibility. An army now comprises one or more regiments. Every army must have at least 1 regiment and can only take a maximum of 5. There's already restrictions there, which we don't really have in 10th edition at the moment, right? Each regiment is led by a single hero and can include up to 3 other units, or 4 if it's your general's regiment. These regiments represent the retinues, war bands, and chosen warriors who will accompany a leader into battle, so every hero lists which units they can include in their regiment as part of their battle profile. This was an interesting part to me, because this stunk a little bit of this character can only join this unit from 10th edition, but again, it elaborates. In the case of the Lumineth Realm Lords, this was interesting since you went and picked up Llama Riders today. For instance, a Venari Bannerblade can include any Venari units in their regiment, while an Alarith Stone Mage can be accompanied by other signature Alarith units, along with Venari Aurelian Wardens, who form the common core of many Lumineth forces. Unique faction leaders like Archmage Teclis can often be accompanied by any units from their faction. In rare cases, some powerful heroes can even include other hero units in their regiment. For example, the mighty Lord of Khorne, who can be accompanied into battle by gore-chosen heroes. This tends to result in armies that are much more thematic. I like this straight away. With each hero accompanied by the kinds of troops you'd expect to see at their sides. And they've given us a little graphic, which we use on the thumbnail, right? So, this is how you build your army. You get up to 5 regiments. You must have one hero who is your general, okay? So you have to have a hero. Each regiment has, and you have 5, one hero, 0 to 3 non-hero units, 0 to 4 if it's the general. If you reinforce a unit, it's double points cost and unit size, and some hero units allow the addition of extra heroes to their regiment. So if we just go on the basic here and we fill the lot, you could have 5 heroes and 15 to 16 units, because one of them would have to be your general, that aren't heroes. So you actually have line infantry per hero, but it does say 0 to 3 non-hero. So one regiment could include a hero and nothing else, if you wanted to, right? It could include nothing else. So if your hero is a giant dragon and you're running out of points, you can just use a regiment slot to put in a giant dragon, for example. Okay. Now, obviously, what you could do, like I said, you could put 5 normal heroes in, and it gives you 15 to 16 other non-hero slots like archers and pikemen and stuff like that. Okay. Every unit within a regiment deploys together as a singular drop. You can reinforce most non-unique units with more than one model, and while there is no longer any limit on the number of units you can reinforce, you may no longer double reinforce units. Now, this is something that currently exists in version 3. I won't go into it too much for those of us that are 40k fans, but basically you can reinforce a number of units. I think it's like 4 units in total, or 6 units in total, and you can double reinforce certain units like battle lines. If you have 10 zombies, you can reinforce them to 20 zombies, and then you can double reinforce them up to 30 zombies, and you just pay the additional points each time. And there's restrictions on how many of these you can do, and which ones you can double reinforce, and which ones you can't double reinforce, which is not the most complicated in the world, but you just need to know about it, and we, like Joe and I, didn't know about it until Josh taught us last week. Otherwise, the restrictions of the current edition are gone, which is the cleaner part of it, right? About how many behemoths and stuff you can take. And then we've got some text from the rules design, as it sounds. Battlefield roles such as battle line, behemoths, or artillery are a thing of the past. So this is where we lost like heavy support, fast attack, elites, etc. Explains product developer Ben. Once you've got a hero as your general, you have a ton of flexibility in how you build your roster. If you want to build a list that's just a single hero and a swarm of doom wheels zooming around and causing havoc, we won't stop you, but will have an impact on the game because anything that isn't in a regiment has to be an auxiliary unit. This is where it gets interesting, because this is where the restrictions they've just placed on you are lifted, but there is a negative, where in currently 40k there really isn't a negative, right? Auxiliary units offer a way to pick additional units from your faction outside the confines of a regiment. There are no limits on how many auxiliaries you can take, but there's still a cost. Each auxiliary unit is deployed one at a time as a single drop, and the player with the fewest auxiliaries on their roster gets 1 extra command point at the start of each battle round. Okay, these are crucial resource in the new edition and scarcer than before. So they've given us a nice little example, army composition. Player 1, right? He has his general's regiment. He then has 2 other regiments. He has an auxiliary unit. He's got 4 drops because you put this down as what? Doesn't matter if this is all 5 units. Doesn't matter if that's all 4 units and that's all 4 units. Each of these only gets put down as a single deployment, okay? And then you've got an auxiliary unit, which is a deployment as well. This guy, he's got a general's regiment, another regiment, and 3 auxiliary units. Now, with one extra hero, if he could take it in, he could put these in another potential regiment. But because of the way he's laid this out, he has 5 drops, which means he will be deploying slower than his opponent, which means his opponent is going to get +1 command point per battle round. 1, because he's got less auxiliary units, but he's also going to deploy first, which means he'll get to choose who goes first or second in battle round 1, which is also important. So there's really, it sounds like at least a lot of benefits to trying to squeeze things in to this list building here, which is quite interesting. Again, for me, if I think about 40k and I think about 10th edition specifically, this is quite interesting because list building for 40k doesn't really offer any risk or reward. It's take whatever you want, who cares? There is a degree of synergy in terms of picking specific characters for specific units, but really you don't have any benefit to making it nice and thematic, to making it cohesive. So I suggest that, for example, if you look at Player 2's army here, there's a strong possibility that they don't have the right units for the right heroes, which is why they're being taken as auxiliary. Because although I say you could put these into a regiment, you need a character in that regiment, a hero, that would allow these specific auxiliary units that this player's picked to be able to be taken as the additional slots, okay? So this is where, it's quite interesting, because if it's a non-thematic list, because you're literally taking one of each of the best unit, you can't fit it into a regiment, you get punished. Your opponent gets extra command points, you get more drops. So it's like, well, you could completely list tailor to the most broken units in the book, but if they don't all match with the right heroes in the right places and have the right synergy in terms of keywords, etc., guess what? You lose a command point at battle round to your opponent, and you don't get to drop first in deployment, which is quite interesting. Conversely, the player who then builds his list quite thematically and is able to fit most things into regiments, because he's got the right kind of character on Llama, leading his Llama Riders behind him. That's right, we're all about Llama Riders right now. Then that guy is going to get bonuses because he gets to fit them into regiments, so less drops, potentially less auxiliary units. That's an important resource, as I said already, right? This is interesting. Command points are a scarce resource in this edition. There isn't a single war scroll or faction ability in the game that gives you additional points. That's good, explains Matt, highlighting the value of sticking to your regiments. We've tried to keep army composition as open as possible to reflect the diverse array of forces found in the Mortal Realms, implementing soft incentives to push for armies that are thematic and maintain a healthy mix of units and heroes. And honestly, at the moment, I'm not an AOS player currently, but looking at what they've told us, it looks like they've achieved that. And that's the sort of thing I'd like to see achieved in 40k. On top of your regiments, you'll also be picking your sub-faction. These are now called battle formations, which have been refocused around the fighting style of an army rather than specific background. This invites players to mix and match a battle formation with their favourite colour scheme and any unique heroes they like. Other important aspects of army building are also sticking around, including artifacts of power and heroic traits, which used to be known as command traits, as well as spell laws, prayer laws, and the shiny new manifestation laws, which we'll have details on later. All this sounds great. Like, they're keeping spell laws, which means magic's still in, prayer laws are still in. This is stuff that has been stripped out of 40k, and I personally really miss it. We'll be writing about commands and how you receive command points at a later date. Heroic traits replace command traits, operating in a similar manner, except for the fact that they can be given to any hero, not just your general. So this is like warlord traits, I guess, in old edition. Okay, and that's the article. Now, all in all, I'm interested in it anyway because it's Age of Sigmar. Okay, as I'm sure that will not surprise you wonderful people in chat. But I did read, I genuinely, this isn't me forcing it into 40k. I genuinely read that article this afternoon and was a little bit kind of... I'm enjoying 10th. I'm having lots of fun with 10th. Lots and lots of fun with 10th. But I read that article today and I was like, this makes me sad. Because list building in 10th, there is no implication. There's nothing. You know, and even to get to the bottom and read that there's still spell laws and prayer laws, and we used to be able to pick our chapters' litanies.
List building in 40k makes me want to angrily slam the Codex Astartes down on the table. This is much better. Hope the 40k team learned some lessons.
Thank you so much, Stick Monkey, for the 5. Also, by the way, thank you, Cavs for the extra 2. Thank you, Richard Evans, Jacob Ward, Datsun Des for the 3 gifted. We're on 3, Luce.
Amazing.
We have very different ideas of what amazing is.
Amazing. Amazing that 3 people have chosen to spend their money on us. Amazing. So ungrateful.
That part's amazing.
Yeah.
But 3, innit?
Which is amazing.
Exclamation mark grift. What was I saying? Anyway, so yeah, so like that little part at the end was like, oh, I missed the fact that we used to be able to pick the psychic powers we wanted and pick the litanies that we wanted. I missed that anyway, right? What do you mean there's no llama hero? Oh no. The wind mage. What about the floaty guy in the sky with the bow and arrow? It's not about that now, man, right? So, but overall, looking at the whole way they're structuring this, it's just how do two different teams approach things so incredibly differently? And from my personal perspective, one team get it really, really right, and the other team get it really badly. Like, is it just me, chat? Am I the only one here who read those rules today in Age of Sigmar and was like, this is just better than 40k?
The benefit to thematic lists, at least for 40k, is how cool it is and bragging rights. Cool face. Thanks for all the content. Don't forget to take a break.
Breaks for the reek, Evan. Thanks for the 6 anyway. You're right. Like, I like to build thematic lists because I like to build thematic lists. That's it. I like to build thematic lists because I like to build thematic lists. But this is my point, right? You've absolutely 100% hit the nail on the head. When you build thematic lists in 40k right now, you're doing it as a conscious choice simply because it's your conscious choice. There's nothing else into it, right? There's no other reason for it whatsoever. There's no game-based benefit to building a thematic list. There's no game-based benefit to making sure that your Black Templars are in a Black Templars detachment. Thanks for the poo, John. It's just because I've done it because I should do it, because I want Black Templars to be in Black Templars detachment, because I want Blood Angels to be in Blood Angels detachment. There's no other reason, right? Equally, in terms of like characters and stuff like that, there's nothing to stop you spamming 9 captains apart from maybe points. There's nothing. There is no restriction whatsoever, which is both brilliant and terrible at the same time. It's brilliant because I don't like the concept of people having an army that they then can't use. That being said, there is restrictions in 40k. They're just not good restrictions, and those restrictions are, oh, you've got an apothecary biologist, well, he can only join these specific units, and if you don't have that unit, he can't join any units. If you don't own any of those units, you can either leave him on the shelf or you can run him on his own, and he's just going to get killed. Like, that's it. There's no other reason. I guess those restrictions are kind of trying to bring some semblance of thematicness into it, but like the fact that if you have an apothecary biologist, you just need 1 unit of Gravis armor and that's done. That's not like a Gravis army, is it? That's just 1 unit to get him to walk around with for whatever reason you want the apothecary biologist. So I picked on this one specifically only because that model appeared in the starter box set without a unit that it can join. Okay, this sounds like a similar-ish kind of restriction. You know, if you take a hero who has a keyword, he'll give you access to other units that aren't heroes that have the same keyword. So it's a similar kind of restriction. Now, because that character doesn't join the singular unit, as far as we know right now, you can have 3 of them, and that creates this little kind of operational group on the tabletop that probably are going to benefit from being around each other as well, or near each other at least, because of rules and shit, right? And that then means that, you know, there's a thematic thing that kind of exists in your army. Well, you don't have to do that. They are saying you don't have to do that. What you can do is you can run whatever the fuck you want, apart from you have to have a general, and you could run them all as auxiliary units. You can do that. That's fine. That's not a problem. You can do that. If you want to take whatever you want, you can take whatever you want. That then, however, means that you're going to lose, like I said, lose out on the fact that you're not going to get a command point every single battle round. Your opponent will, and you're probably going to take longer to deploy than your opponent, and so they're going to get to choose who goes first. You can take whatever you want, but there is a slight punishment there. 40k right now, take whatever you want. 0 punishment. Do what you want. Who cares? And I kind of think that operating within some bases of restriction is a better way for us to think about approaching army list building and army list writing in the future in general. And I actually kind of miss a semblance of restriction in 40k, and I genuinely miss combined arms. It got a little bit crazy when we moved into 8th and 9th with the outriders and the vanguards and the spearheads and stuff like that, and the supreme command attachments and things like that. But I genuinely quite miss combined arms. It's one of those things as well that you don't know you miss it until it's gone, and you sit there and you think, oh, I wish I could take more of this thing. And then what you don't realize is, as a person who sits there and thinks narratively, I wish I could take more of this thing, because narratively I want to take more of this thing, And then another person goes, well, you know what I can do? I can do this nonsense. And you're like, oh, I didn't think of that. That's ruined it a bit for me. Well, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that you would prefer these kind of restrictions or things like this for list building in 40k and kind of more more structure to it, so it allows you to kind of build something that works as a cohesive thematic force? Or do you want to keep it as it is and you like the fact that you can do whatever the hell you want? I'm interested. Mid-tier mediocre, thank you so much for the gifted membership. You're a legend. Up to 4. 4.
Amazing.
Wednesday winners. There's not many of you. People just not feeling the hump day right now. Missing used to have to take core units to unlock access to elites and others in 40k. Agree, guys, 100%. Restriction army building are more fun. Force players to build armies that fit the theme of the faction. Do you think it helps? Do you think forcing restrictions, because arguably in AOS they're not forcing the restrictions. This is the difference, right? Back in the days of Combined Arms, we forced restrictions in 40k. And this is like, 40k's gone from forced restrictions to nothing at all, and Age of Sigmar's kind of gone, hold my beer, we're somewhere in the middle. There's restrictions if you want benefits, but we're also not being restrictive because you can do whatever you want. Like, where's the sweet spot? Is AOS now in the sweet spot? Because I actually think that restrictions also potentially help with game balance. So if you know that every single faction has to take at least 2 troop choices and a HQ, it arguably helps a little bit with game balance as well, right? Prefer an open sandbox method. Interesting. I think it helps. So people are quite mixed right now. Restrictions are less restrictive than they... Oh, hang on. I was trying to read and then someone got greedy for attention. They see in most games. Stick Monkey! He get...
Amazing.
We like Mrs. Sean. Mrs. the Stick Monkey with the 10 gifted memberships. You fucking hero. Thank you so much. 14 already. You legend. I love you. Ruined may be a bit extreme. Hopefully it's a roadmap for where 40k can go. Potentially, I used to actually genuinely believe that 40k was... AOS was a bit of a test bed for 40k before I actually knew that there were 2 completely different teams. They operated independently, and I sort of assumed in the past that a team worked on both game systems. I didn't know how different it was and how separated out the studios were. But a little part of me wonders if they looked at what's gone on with 40k and went, okay, it's all right, but we can improve it a bit maybe.
4th/5th edition HQ choices gave access to units in different slots of the org chart. Chaos having typhus let you have plague marines as troops, etc.
Yeah, I missed that a bit, Dave. They also had like a jump space marine captain gave you assault marines.
1 CP/BR seems like a quite large benefit for smaller/elite armies, but am all for restrictions. Smile.
So that's an interesting point actually, Magnus. Thank you so much for the 50. You're a legend. That's an interesting, like, I wondered if it was too much. A command point every battle round was too much. I don't know how powerful command points are going to be in the new version, but like off the bat, like I thought, oh, when I first read it, I was like, oh, they get an extra CP. That's cool. I like that. No, it's 5 CP because it's every battle round. That's quite a lot, right? It's quite a lot. Anyway, all you grey names, if you want to become a member of the Great Hall, you can either !member or you can !snipe me, all one word, and see if someone out there will be kind enough to take a shot at your face. Ask if I've returned. Are you going to have army-specific regiments? Maybe give bonuses to units in the regiments. Oh, that'd be interesting. I don't know. But yeah, back in 4th, 5th, Dave, as well, you used to be like, if you took a Space Marine captain with a jump pack, you allowed Assault Marines as troop choices and stuff like that. And I kind of missed that kind of stuff as well. Like, maybe if you took a Farseer and Jet Bike, you get access to Wind Riders as troops, for I don't know, things like that. We used to get those sorts of things, and I kind of missed that sort of stuff. That was really, really cool. Like, if you took Khan, you got Berserkers as troops in Chaos Space Marines. There's too much CP in the current edition. I've seen that. I've 100% seen that, Sean. Absolutely. Absolutely. In current edition, you can't spam units. Who knows what the unit restrictions will be in 4th Ed. I mean, it looks like you can spam them, but there might be a punishment. I don't know. Where are we? Only thing I really miss is points. What, for 40k? Yeah, I miss 40k. Right. Why make this AOS move so soon after the old world drop? Part of the plan or something they had in their pocket just in case. I genuinely believe it was part of the plan, guys, but let's be honest, the old world... possible controversial opinion here, chat. Old World, complete flop. Complete flop. Like, for me personally, I was one of the most excited people in the world for Old World. I'm now not interested. I've lost interest because of the tortoise-like release schedule. I'm just not interested. I don't care anymore, if I'm honest. I play Heresy with the worst Legion, so I miss 6.5 rules. Which Legion is that, Leon? Which is the worst Legion in Heresy? At the moment, Old World has the release schedule and what's going on with Old World has annoyed me so much. I would now place it underneath Heresy. I would go 40k AOS, Heresy, Old World now. Legitimately, right? Pretty new here, but be really interesting. It'd be really enjoying the content. Well, good. Yeah, well, good. Not just good. Well, good. Thanks, legend. Not that I know how to say that name. Xeni? Xeni? How would you say that name, Luce?
Uh.
Yeah, exactly. I like how you leaned into the screen there to try and work out what
Well, I
it
wasn't
says.
sure if it was parenthesis or if it was like the square brackets.
Yeah.
The Xenon.
I'd say mostly because of how hard it is to get models and how priced it is. I agree. Absolutely, I agree. Salamanders. They're really bad unless I'm playing against Solar. Their flavors are good. Not coming out quick enough. It's not coming out quick enough. It's old models for inflated prices. It's just a whole world of like nonsense.
I know what you're doing.
I've already bored of him, so gone. I love the look of Bretonian Knights, but the idea of painting them to a decent standard is fairly well. Yeah, that's why Joe's doing it. He's like spoiling for a fight already. And I didn't like the fact he called it inbred, so fuck him.
I wanted a little tinkering.
Xenon. There we go. Perfect. I could do that. I could say that. Old World was given the support of a niche game. Not surprising if it stays that way. I absolutely will. Anecdotally, with Old World, people just bought the books and everyone already had their models. I didn't know. I wonder how many people out there didn't have Old World models who wanted to play the game. Right? No rule of 3 for AOS means prepare for BS mega spam. But can you BS mega spam though, Viridian Shadows, right? So give me a unit that you can BS mega spam. Is there a cheap, accessible character that allows you to put them in regiments? Or you're going to have to use auxiliary units? If you're going to have to use auxiliary units, so you're giving up that CP and giving up that first drop. That's what's going to interest me, whether they've actually got that balance right or not. That's where I'm kind of curious to see how they're taking it and what they're going to do with it, right? The Old World is a loss for GW, but a win for 3D printing companies. 100% it is. Absolutely it is. 100%. A bit of both. Nice to build whatever you want, but some things are just better. Maybe one way for competitive without restrictions and one for more thematic build. Agree. Here's a question. Why are the Necron Flag ones that I'm currently building an absolute bitch to put together? Oh my god. Stu, they made me rage. Absolutely made me rage, those did. Don't worry about it, Kai. There was a commenter. We got rid of him. I sold my old Warhammer Fantasy Battle Armies a few years ago and wish I didn't. I didn't now. Old World is out. Yeah, I had 2, which I got rid of as well. My eyes have been open as to how good AOS seems to be. Currently figuring out if I can afford a Vanguard force, says CJ. The thing is, right, here's the thing, is a lot of the stuff as well is we've been looking at the current version, Joe and I at least, and Kyle, have been looking at the current version and going, this is really good. There's a few people, I've seen a few people in the comments section on the videos once we've finished the live, who have said, I'm really worried because AOS is currently in a very good place and they keep talking about building it from the ground up and I kind of don't want them to. Because I like the game as it is. But I guess that's true of any new edition that comes out in any gaming system. There will be a significant amount of people that like the current version. They've got used to it. They've been playing it for a few years now, and they won't want it changed, right? I thought I missed that. I've been priced out of GWs anyway. Lucky there's an entire black market of 3D printing. Each their own. Personally, I enjoy 40k list building. I hated list building before, besides adding units model by model. Right. I'm not about. I feel like it could do with more. I feel like 40k list building needs more now. A Hosking unit in AOS, the nightmare fuel that is horrors of Zinch, and the points per wound has been crazy. Oh, I don't see. I'm honestly, Razor, I'm completely new to all this shit. I have no idea. It feels like a lot more care, time, and love has gone into AOS so far as opposed to what we've got with 10th. The one thing I will say though, chat, right? The one thing I will say, and I'll be very open about this, you can go back on this channel, and you can, I don't know why you would, but you can watch streams, right, that were leading up to the launch of 10th edition, and you can see this little fat face get all excited about the things that they were talking about on Warhammer Community with 10th edition, and how incredibly positive I was about all the things they were doing and all the changes they were making. Because guess what? Their marketing team are actually really fucking good. Their marketing team are great at going, look how good we are. I mean, it's amazing shit we've done. Look at all these fancy keywords we're using, all these taglines, right? Their marketing team are very good at that. And 10th came out and I was super fucking excited. And within a month I was like, I think maybe my excitement might have been misplaced. I think maybe I had fallen victim to that PR marketing monster that is Warcom. I'm so fed up before I get buying gnomes for Blood Bowl. That's how bad it's got for me. AOS Vanguard boxes come, I'm telling you. Without power creep and rules changes, GW would lose too much money when people don't continue to be competitive, have new shiny things, or get new rules added to the lore. It's probably a truth, unfortunately, guys, if I'm honest with you. We could also see the moment you got the box in advance and then saw the rules. You probably can tell. Sure, you probably can. What's happening for the stream? How dare you, Wee Man? Wee Man became a Thane this morning.
Aww. You know how we do a song, the whole y'all ready for that?
Boo boo boo. Yeah.
I came up with one for Thane.
In Thane in the Membrane?
No, it was a different
In
one.
Thane in the Main!
A different one.
Oh, okay, right.
I'm gutted I can't remember it because I was so proud of myself.
I enjoyed 10th but preferred 9th. See, that's me. I'm not having a bad, like, I'm not saying 40k is bad, right? I'm not saying it's bad. It's not bad. It's all right. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm not having a bad time. I'm not out here going doom and gloom. I'm never playing 40k again. I'm having fun. It's not a bad edition. I just don't think it's as good as previous editions. I mean, you could argue that if you were to compare it to the last 4 editions, and as an individual you prefer all of the last 3, you could argue then you could say it's bad. I don't think it's bad. There's no power creep in the current set of codexes. Strong agree. Strong agree. Absolutely. So you know how pink horrors need to roll a 4+ to split into blue horrors, and then for those blues to split into brimstone horrors. In AOS it happens automatically. That's 20. Oh my god, that's disgusting. Maybe it'll change. Maybe they'll have to roll for it. 40k is not bad. 10th is terrible. Escape. Do it. Escape. Thank you. Gaz has become a Thane. What a legend. You were just a Thane last month. Oh, I guess he's just got to upgrade each month for the attention. That makes sense. Love you, Gaz. Thanks, man.
I agree with what's been said about 4th/5th and HQs unlocking elites as troops. I also like the idea of a month that you could play your Chaos Army with a Demon detachment and a Knight detachment that still look like an army.
Agree, Josh. 100%. Thank you so much for the 20 as well. 20 bucks in the bank. What a legend. What a hero. Still on 14 members. Well, 15 it says now because it counts an upgrade. Still on 15 members, Mr. The Chat. 40 minutes in. Oh my god. Just less than a member every 2 minutes. Less. Oh dear. Forgot to set Thane again this month. Sadly having to make the decision monthly based. Oh, this is fine, man. Don't worry about it. Dad, people can do it for 1 month and they're still amazing people. Don't you worry about that. Liam, rank the last few 40k editions 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th. I would probably... Right, this is controversial, Iceberg, and people are going to strongly disagree with me. And I'm aware people are going to strongly disagree with me. So remember, this is based on personal opinion, not based on any kind of fact. For me personally, I would rank them in the complete reverse from 7th to 10th. 7th has remained for the longest time one of my favourite ever editions. There was nonsense when all the detachments and shit came out. Not detachments, what do they call them? Formations. All the formations and shit came out. It got really messy and really shitty. As a core rule set, if we're literally talking about core rule set, 7th was my favourite. Okay, 8th. I preferred 8th to 9th and 10th simply because we had things like Maelstrom of War and it wasn't so tournament focused. 8th edition finished, 9th edition started, GW brought tournament rules into their main edition. That's when it really started to go downhill for me, right? And then 10th is just, we're going further down this tournament path. It sucks a bit comparatively. Again, we're still having fun. We've said this loads of times though, right? You can do this with, you can apply this to anything. You can apply this to board games. You can apply this to D&D. You can apply this to 40k. You can apply this to video games. You can apply this to, what? 5-a-side football. You can apply it to anything. You will have more fun if the people that you're playing with are playing with the same like intent as you are. So if you're playing 5-a-side football and 9 out of 10 of you are there just to really enjoy yourself, you're probably going to mostly have the same amount of fun as you would normally have. But that might be that one dickhead who spoils it for everyone because he wants to go in slide tackle on everyone, right? But if all 9 of the other players are having the same level of fun and the same or are going with the same intent to play, you're probably going to really enjoy yourself when you're playing 5-a-side football. Same with if you're playing Dungeons and Dragons, right? There might be that one dickhead who is just being a pain in the arse every single time for the sake of it and making the dungeon master's job really difficult. You know, that might be the case, and that ruins it for everybody else. But if everybody there is playing with the same intent, so the bonus we have on the channel, Paddy and Brom and Eddie and Joe playing, is that everyone's playing with the same kind of end goal in mind, and the end goal is how can we have fun? How can we enjoy ourselves? So I'm having loads of fun with 10th edition, but I think, from my personal opinion, because the 10th edition rule set is mostly kind of focused around this tournament play and primary, secondary scoring nonsense, I think it's worse. I think it's much worse, personally. Much worse. Anyway, that's my opinion. Everyone else in chat, do it yourself. Rank 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th in order of favourite. 9th, 8th, 10th, didn't play 7th, so I was on a small 20-year break. I'm interested to see how many people rank 10th as the bottom. All work and no play. My flesh terrors aren't winning crap, but my gnomes, they're dialed up mental. Beautiful. Also, chat, 287 people in chat right now. Only 139 likes. That part's free. You can click. Did I see you click that like button?
No. I would never forget to click the like button.
Unbelievable. Also, 15 new members. That makes us 85 off of our total for the 100%. Maths. And Albin, who's literally just become a subscriber, has then gifted a membership. What a legend. But that means you're surely not a member yourself either. Thank you for the gifted, man. What a hero. Up to 16 gifteds. 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd. No need for anything else. 9th, 8th, and 10th. 8th, 9th, and 10th. 9th, 8th, 10th. So there's a lot of people that are like 9th, 8th, 8th, 9th. 9th and 8th, 8th, 9th, right? Luke was like 150th. I've never played 7th, but I vibe with the rules more than 8th, 9th, or 10th. That's interesting. 8th, 10th, 9th. I hate Tyranid Codex and 10th, so I'm biased. Okay. 9th made me quit 40k for all in on AOS, and 10th kept me that way. So 7th, 8th, and then lots of hours. 8, 9, 7, 10. It's interesting. A lot of people put 10 at the end. It's interesting. I played Tower Necrons. 8th was the worst set of rules for me. Interesting. I only played 9th and 10th, preferred 9th, but only marginally, mainly for list building. I prefer Leviathan to standard pick your secondaries in 9th. Interesting. 10's a swing and a miss, chat, innit? Just stumbled in here through Warhipster. I'll encourage any kind of AOS content. Good, because there's going to be loads of it in the future. Alongside our 40k offering. Thank you so much for the gifted, dude. You're a hero for stumbling in here and gifting one as well. Look at it, put the rest of you to shame. Stumbled in, gifted. Job done. Job done. Stumbled in, gifted. Wasn't a subscriber, but somehow was a member. Because he's green.
Is that possible?
Yeah, yeah. So, YouTube's doing this thing now with gifted memberships, right? We've talked about this a little bit before in the past. It seems to be becoming more of a thing. So now when you gift, so in the past, do you remember in the past we got to the point where if we had like a heavy gifting night, you know, the opposite to tonight, it would stop gifting.
Such poor taste.
It would stop gifting at one point because it ran out of people it could give it to. Because it ran out of people that had put allow gifts on. Do you remember that in the past?
Yeah.
Right, we had that a few times. Now, it doesn't do that. So on your YouTube profile, you could just have allow gifts for all channels. Allow gifts. Click allow gifts, right?
Oh.
And if you have allow gifts on for all channels, it algorithmically looks at who's been watching and engaging with certain types of channels, like 40k, Warhammer, Battle Report, etc. And then if we gift now, and everyone who is an active viewer on the channel has already been gifted a membership, and sometimes even if they haven't, YouTube will go, this person watches 40k content, so gift them one to Liam's channel. And what YouTube's going is, if we gift this person, if we give Luce a membership to Liam's channel who's never watched it before, what she might do is she might go, I'm going to go watch that channel and have a look. And she'll go have a look at that channel and go, oh, I quite like it. And what we as YouTube have done is we've given you another subscriber there, potentially. We've gone and we're using memberships to go and fish for people. So gifted memberships is not only the most important source of our revenue on the channel, literally the most important source of our revenue. Month on month has been over 80%. That's why we've gone about it quite a lot. But equally is now also helping channel growth. And also when the gifteds go through the roof on live streams, the concurrent viewers go up because YouTube pushes it up the page. It shows more people that you're live. Hey, look, this person's live because lots of gifting's going on. They're like, go and watch the channel.
As a cosplayer, I love how they do the Chaos Gods armies. Imagine if Death Guard and Nurgle Demons were one book, we plus Korn, Sins plus Siench, EC plus Slanish.
Would you rather that, Christos? Is that what you're saying?
I am enjoying 10th, and to be honest, in my club I have seen people who quit in 9th back in 10th and they prefer
That's
it.
good. I mean, that's good. Thanks for the 15 euro, you legend. Thank you so much. With the Chaos player stuff, are you saying you'd prefer it if they were the books? I'm interested. I know a few people that came back in 10th. So I saw there was we did see a few people that came back in 8th, left in 9th, and have come back in 10th again. But I mean, there's a rule you can apply, right? Before we say that, Christopher Sanford, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Your era. Up to 300 live viewers now as well.
Sam says, this is exactly how I got here.
Which Sam?
Sam Kaufman.
That's amazing. So see, that's actually how it works, Lit. That is actually how it works. Literal gifted memberships now helps channel growth.
It sounded a bit unhelpful before you said that the algorithm tries to fish you out if you've been watching certain stuff. Because for a second it sounded like just gift anybody. Because I thought, well, then you're going to be gifting the people who have no idea what you're on about, and that is only going to result in having trolls turn up. But then with the algorithm, it sounds quite clever actually.
Yeah. So.
I'm enjoying 40k in spite of 10th edition, not because of it. And that comes down to how much I enjoy watching the channel and playing with Thames, etc.
Oh, sure, 100%, sure, exactly. That's my point, right? I'm not. I mean, I can't anyway because of my job, but I don't think I could ever walk away from 40k because an edition was bad. So I'm in almost a lucky position. This sounds sounds counterintuitive, but I'm almost in a lucky position whereby I have to make it work for me. Because of the channel, I have to make it work for me. So we have to find the fun in it, right? Have to find the fun in it. And I think that's a good place to be. Do you know what I mean? I think we're quite lucky in that respect. It sounds bad. When I say we're quite lucky in that respect, it sounds bad. It sounds like we're forcing yourself to have fun. We kind of are forcing ourselves to have fun. But genuinely, Joe and I mean, didn't look like it last night for poor old Joe. But genuinely, Joe and I are having a load of fun in 40k right now. We're getting really excited about games and matchups and stuff like that. And because we kind of have to have fun, we can. So, I mean, the words enjoying in spite of 10th, not because of it, is probably quite true. But again, you've said it yourself. Because of who you're playing with, that's what's important, you know. So, I'm having tons of fun. And I think that it's easy to say, it also is easy to say, if you find the right people who have loads of fun, and often it can be quite hard to find the right people. You know, even like you do it even with things like kid groups and shit, right? How often have you gone to a kid group and gone, this isn't for us? Mm-hmm. Quite a lot. Like, it's really difficult. You think, oh, this group is focused around, I don't know, a thing. James went to an AOS club.
Uh-huh.
Right? So there you go. My eldest went to an Age of Sigmar club. And you think, well, they're all focused around Age of Sigmar. He's interested in Age of Sigmar. Of course, everyone will have fun. He did it for about 3 weeks. He didn't want to do it anymore. Because it just wasn't his vibe. He didn't like the place. Like, it's very easy to say, It's really easy for me to say, who has Joe and Brom and that. Find people that make the game fun and you'll have fun. It's not that easy, I'm aware. So when I'm saying, you know, just do that, I'm not saying it's easy to do that, and those of you that walked away are wrong for doing so. Absolutely not, 100%. But there is definitely ways to make it fun. And some of you might be lucky enough to be able to find those sorts of people that help that. Anyway, Joseph Fenson, thank you so much for 5 gifted on top of Mr. The Sanford's 5. And then re-upgrading Dethane as well. What a legend. What a legend. Really pleased for you today, mate, as well. Really pleased for you today. Anyway, thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for the gifted up to 26 of the finest new members. You are amazing. Why are you going to kid groups? Well, that sometimes, Escapade, that's how I have to win. That's how I win. This is exactly how I got into the channel. I'd seen a couple of videos, but a random membership drew me in. I watch a lot of Valrak, other 40k wafflers. Maybe that's where a lot of folk come from. See, that's what I'm saying. I genuinely think people out there thought it was bullshitting just to get people to gift more. But now we have actual evidence that's what happens to people. I read the YouTube release like, not patch notes, but they release like updates and stuff, and roadmaps and shit like that. And I was reading about it, and it was like, oh, that's quite interesting. And I do love the concept, by the way, that you could be a person who's been watching gardening videos for 3 months, and suddenly it gives you a membership to a 40k channel.
I don't like it.
No. It's not how it works, but I like the concept that could happen.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck's this?
I don't think I'm being contrary, but I just don't. I don't know. The whole online thing, you can't window shop anymore. Those days are gone, because anything you type in becomes a marketing opportunity. So I think I would still see a gifted membership, as lovely as it is. I would just see it as, for fuck's sake, I was on that website for 5 fucking minutes and now...
Do you not like internet algorithm?
No, I don't like the targeted ads. I just want to be left the fuck alone to surf the internet. If I'm in town, like, say if a clipboard person approaches me in town, I'm already out in town. So I find it much less offensive.
Pisses me off. No, that
See,
pisses
that really
me off.
pisses you off, but I don't mind it because I'm already out in town. It's when people come to your door that then I think, you've come to my home.
Oh, that also pisses
Fuck
me
off.
off. So people come into my home or approach me in the street pisses me off. And I will shout at people in the street with clipboards.
But I just, when the whole targeted ads thing starts, I just think, even MSN, it's not called MSN Messenger anymore, is it? It's just Facebook Messenger. You can't have a private conversation on there anymore because things you talk about start turning up on Facebook Reels. So you can't even have a private conversation anywhere anymore. If we talk about anything, Alexa's listening, and then the adverts start turning up there. I hate it. Gone are the days of window shopping. Can't do it anymore. So the targeted ad, the memberships, it's really lovely. Just personally, no.
It's interesting. So from a running the channel perspective, I think it's great.
Amazing.
I obviously think it's brilliant. Like, so for twofold, again, right? Gifted memberships, literally the majority of our revenue. 80% of our revenues memberships. 70% of that 80% is gifted memberships. So it's a huge percentage of the channel revenue is memberships, which is why we go on about that target every single time we stream. But then, so that's already a reason, right? It's already a great target to have. And you've got massive penis people like John Warhammer who comes in and drops 20 gifted. That sounds like a dolphin. Amazing, John. Thank you so much. You're amazing. You're a hero. I love you. You people are incredible. But there's a possibility of these 20 people that he's gifting to now, some of these might not even be subscribers. That's where I'm like, that's amazing for me.
Yeah.
Because if they're all subscribers, right, then okay, cool. It's great they've all got memberships, and that's amazing. And it's great that we're making money off of it, and it's great that it's supporting the channel. That's all amazing. But if they're not subscribers, there's a possibility that in a moment I'll see on my little feed here, one of those people becomes a subscriber then, and like literally help. Not only are you helping the channel financially, not only are you gifting people access to things like the Discord, Discord, and access to the early access members content, etc. But now you're also potentially just bringing in new subscribers as well. That's amazing. But from a privacy perspective, so I'm one of those people, right? I'm legitimately one of those people with algorithms and stuff like that and like targeted ads. I've really leaned into it. So I am I'm one of those serial like not interested people. if it's something I'm genuinely not interested in. If it's something I'm interested in, I'll watch it for a bit of swipe. So like you've seen my feeds. My feeds are very targeted because I've worked really hard at dialing those algorithms in to only show me the shit that I'm interested in. I have one complaint about targeted ads and cookies, and that one complaint is if I've bought the thing, stop showing it to me.
I just feel like you can't relax. You can't just spend an evening with a cup of tea surfing the internet because everything about you is a marketing opportunity. You can't just be on the internet.
Yeah, but I think if you're aware of it, it's not that bad. Like, I feel like because what you could do, you could reject all cookies. Every time someone says accept or reject cookies, because cookies is part of targeting ads. You could private browse, so you could incognito on Google the whole time. That doesn't track anything at all. So there is options. They're slightly more difficult, but there is definitely options to not be tracked.
And I think there's a website called DuckDuckGo or something, and that's like it's like you put that into your Google and then you surf the internet on that. So you piggyback off.
I've not heard of that one.
It's supposed to be some kind of incognito thing as well, that it doesn't track any of your internet history. So you can do something like look at teapots and then look for a Netflix suggestion, and nothing is a marketing opportunity about you. They don't know a thing about you. They have no idea you like tea, and they have no idea you have Netflix. You're just on the internet.
Yeah, well,
I think I'm just reaching my tolerance level of, can we just be human, please? Can we just be left the fuck alone to look at teapots and Netflix? Must everything be, I've reached my limit now. Like, I cannot be.
I don't, this doesn't bother me. I reckon I've seen DuckDuckGo as a search engine, there you go. Some of the people said it's fantastic. I genuinely like, I reckon there's been things I've seen and probably even bought because of the targeted ads that I might not have bought if I didn't see that. And I'm here for it, like, personally.
This is where we're very different. You're going to do very, very well the more advanced this Earth gets. People like me will start retreating back to the 90s and 80s. And the further advanced we get, the more we're going back.
Next week, she'll have a bonnet on, right?
I will.
I don't know about doing very well though, because there is the risk, right? I like to think I'm a relatively clever person on the whole. I like to think I'm a relatively switched on person on the whole, but I do think that there is a risk now, even for me who thinks he's a clever person, and part of that problem is probably the fact that I think I'm a clever person. There is a risk that I'll be shown something or something will be put in front of me that I might end up buying that I would never have bought otherwise. They're like, yeah, we got him, and they win then at that point, don't they? Really, they win. If I wasn't going to go and buy it anyway.
That means then your recreational time is still a competition over who's winning, me or the internet. So your brain never actually gets time to just be.
I like the internet wins. AI and the internet wins. It's going to win.
Yeah, I'm retreating. Probably next month I'll be in the 60s. I'll be in a time zone I was never in. I'm going to experience the 60s for the first time.
You could also use web browser Brave, which is privacy canted. There's a load of stuff out there, isn't there? I don't know how much of it is actually safe though, and how much of it is a little bit safer. But the problem is, I think like the internet and Google, and I say this as a creator, the internet and Google is both like the best thing to ever happen to humanity and the worst thing to happen to humanity at the same time. Innit? Because it, like, if you think about it now, we've got 305 people in the chat, right? Everyone do me a favour, one word, type the country or state or whatever that you're in right now. We'll see how far this reaches, right? And this is why it's one of the best things in the world. Because 30 years ago, right, when I was 7, fucking hell, 30 years ago when I was 7, how likely would it have been that we're going to have all these people that'll be like US, Canada, Japan, fucking etc.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't have happened. We wouldn't have all found each other. You know, we wouldn't all be talking to each other.
Fair enough.
There's friends I have in the chat, people that I talk to frequently, people that we see on all the streams, and we wouldn't be having this conversation. We wouldn't be talking about 40k. We wouldn't be talking about this shit without the internet, which makes it amazing, right? That's incredible. At the same time, we have the targeted ads problem and the lack of privacy.
Also, bullying. This brand of bullying we're now living in.
Oh my God.
Never would have happened.
Someone banned Bolterbro. He said Portsmouth. Ugh. There we go, right? So, 100%, yeah. Keyboard warriors, cyberbullying, 100%. Colorado, Suffolk, UK, California, Florida, UK, England, Germany, Portsmouth, Texas, Sweden, Canada, Maryland, Wales, Pennsylvania. Wales is like a whole other country. South Africa. See, South Africa. Look at that. Netherlands, Wales, Sussex, Southampton. Fat Boys in Southampton. Alabama. Oh, look at this, people. Eastleigh. That's up the road as well. South Carolina, Ireland, Holy Terror. In a state of tiredness. Love it. But look at it, like we've had Canada, we've had South Africa, we've got lots of people in America, we've got Denmark, we've had Sweden. Like, amazing, look at that. Like, we wouldn't have this without Hive. Not near Southampton, Gorski, surely. Because that would be terrifying. But there's like, this wouldn't, like all these people that we talk to now, it's amazing the amount of people in the US, for example, that we talk to on a daily basis. Because of the channel. Google's incredible for that. It's amazing, right? And I get to talk about the list building rules today, and I get to talk about that with people all over the world and get everybody's perspective all over the world. And I think that's a positive. Now we do have a degree of an echo chamber here. We do have a degree of an echo chamber because typically I think the people that are attracted to the channel will be attracted to our kind of point of views and our way of talking, right? Which is amazing, or our way of thinking, which is amazing. But also that can be negative in itself because then typically you don't... Actually in Hythe, I grew up in Hythe. My parents live in Hythe still. That's weird. Romsey, that's up the road. I get this weird feeling that Google's now putting our channel in front of everybody who's local to us. Well, you'll all get to use Hobby House soon. So in that echo chamber, that can also then be dangerous because I'm like, hey, I'm talking to people all over the world and they all agree with me. I must be right. That's a bad part of the internet as well, right? Because the echo chamber thing.
Don't ever surround yourself with people who only ever agree with you.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. It's dangerous. It's dangerous shit.
Yeah.
It's really dangerous shit.
But it's all right because when I've got my bonnet and my what's the thing?
Butter churner.
What's the thing on the back of a skirt that made ladies' bottoms look bigger? What's that called? That's got a special word.
Cellulite.
So when I come downstairs in that, you'll be like, right, I know what time period she's in. So
I'm in Liam's garage. Lots of Southern folk. There's a lot of Southern folk in here, actually. Vicious Goose is from Uranus. Mr. McCardle's from Maryland. How you doing, John? How's it going, man? Wolverhampton, but I used to be a Hampshire boy too. Look at all these people. Come meet our people. Friendliest bunch ever. Just avoid the crime areas. Leon, like true of so many places though, right? You're fine, Liam. You always think you're right, and then Joe says something and proves it. Don't worry, Liam. We always say you're full of shit. How dare you? How very dare you? A wimple? Is that what it's called? A bustle?
Oh, a bustle. That might be it.
What's a wimple? I wonder what a wimple is now. Bustle. Did you ever go to the Geek Retreat next to GW in Southampton when it was open? Yes, once. I did go in there once.
Oh, we used to go in there a lot. They had a home ed group.
Yeah, you went in there a fair amount of times. Fun
really
fact.
Nice in there.
I went in there to buy. I went into Games Workshop in Southampton to buy some of the stuff, which was essentially the contents of the old Dominion box. And GW stopped by selling Dominion. Typically the Stormcast. I'm now currently painting. By the way, get ready to come and hang out tomorrow for more painting stuff, right? Because I'm actually painting shit. And the store manager in there went, "Don't buy it from us because we don't have the Dominion box. Go next door, buy Dominion. They've got it massively reduced." Because they haven't been able to sell it for a while. Buy Dominion, and then you'll get all the stuff that you want and extra for a lower price. That's why I went into Geek Retreat. My opinion is whatever the opposite to Varax is, and that's the right life choice. That's the right life choice. Bristol born and raised till 18, been in the Netherlands now for 10 plus years. I should move here far nicer than the UK. I've heard that. Scandinavia as well. I've heard wonderful things about Scandinavia. A wimple is like a nun's headdress. Amazing. I went the wrong way. Well, I went up, not down. Incredible. My opinion is always correct. It's an opinion. Everyone's opinion is always correct. You are all correct. Everyone is correct. You're all correct. It's my opinion that they should all gift more memberships.
There's so many things you're good at. This is not one of them.
I think it is. I'd hope streaming is one of the things we are good at.
No, not the streaming. If we're gonna say generally you're good at streaming, then fine. But the many things it takes to be good at streaming, this little slice here, where you constantly keep referring back to the record night, Leave it. Leave it.
That was you. That wasn't me. That was you. That wasn't me.
Don't you gaslight me on the internet. We know what that means now.
We're only
we know the
1,000
word for it, and we will come for you.
We're only 1,060 away from it.
Oh. I'm going to put like a swear jar, but it won't be a swear jar. It'll be a record night jar.
Asking on payday, Liam. That's right. It's the start of the month, isn't it? Isn't it? Don't worry about it. Whatever.
Those have already been paid. Huh? Leave it. The jig is up. Leave it.
Look, right. I don't want to break this to you. But if we're done on the 3rd of April, the next month, we need to find somewhere else to live.
This month is the first council tax month. You get either the 1st, the 15th, or the something else. If people had it taken out on the 1st, because it's extortionate amount, then done. Council tax has taken all the money. Leave it.
Love you, Luke. Best grifter on the 40k net, says Guy. Thanks, Guy. Thanks, Luke, for the gift of membership. You're a hero. Yeah, I don't know how to break it to you, Lise, but on the 3rd of April, if we're already done for the month, then
it's the council tax.
It doesn't help.
Council tax
doesn't help.
No, you're right. It doesn't help.
We might actually be able to. Legally
help.
we can't sleep in the studio, but Luke is talking to Liam like a dog with a cricket in its mouth. I know, all the time. So condescending, chap. No one's ever sent help. No one's ever sent help. At the risk of getting ridiculed, there are times I agree with you and others where you sound utterly out of touch. Mostly, I'm here for the banter. Why would you be ridiculed for that? Honestly, I have no issues with anybody disagreeing. Like, I've said this before a million of times. I have no issues. In fact, people disagreeing with me is better, I think, for content. If I went, I think this thing, and everyone went, yeah, Liam, you're right. I'm like, oh, that was a quick stream, wasn't it?
Oh!
What?
Just paid council tax in full. I'm mortally wounded in my wallet. Oof, Kai. I didn't know you could pay it in full. I thought it had to be. That's so much. I can't even think how much money that is, Kai. Oh my God.
That sounds painful.
So much.
It's like things like car insurance, right? I'm a sucker for it. I have to pay it monthly because one goes, it makes me hurt. Makes me sore. The fuck is council tax? I just know the 40% pay as you earn tax that rapes me monthly. Council tax is, hey, you know how you're paying your rent and you're paying money to live in that house? We're going to charge you more money to live in that house. We're going to base it on the size of your house and we're going to claim that it's for things like refuse collection, local fire service, etc. Right? Upkeep of the local street. But it can't necessarily be upkeep of the local street and refuse collection, etc. Because we basically base it on the size of your house, not how many people are living in there. No. So when we went from our old house, and I didn't know this, right? Naively, chat, I didn't know this. We went to our old house where there was 4 of us, 2 children, 2 adults, and 1 dog. We moved to our new house, and guess what? There's still 4 of us, 2 adults, 2 children, and 1 dog. Logically speaking, we create the same amount of waste, right? Because we're the same size family. And then in my old house, there's lots and lots and lots of grass out the front of the house that the council would have to come and cut and trim and make neat. And out the side of the front of our house is fuck all. Concrete. Nothing, right? Nothing. So there's nothing they have to do out there either. So I was like, oh, council tax, it won't go up by much. It won't be that different. It doubled. It more than doubled, actually. And I nearly vomited. I was like, what for? I produce the same amount of waste.
Don't, because when I called up to say it's now gone up so much that having the 2-month tax break is now not conducive to getting in a financial habit of getting used to that extortionate amount of money now coming out. Can I spread it across 12 months? And I said to her, just out of interest, what am I paying for with council tax? Does it pay for public schooling? She was like, yeah. And I said, can I come off that? Because my children are home educated. They will not benefit from public school. No, you can't opt out. Right. So all the families who choose to not have children at all, they're paying into the school system. Yeah. How is that fair? I'm just here to answer the phones. I can't answer these questions. Right.
Pretty sure council tax is used to make potholes.
A duck landed in a pothole the other day. A duck.
Property tax in the US, John, it is essentially property tax, but in the US, the home owner pays the property tax rather than the person renting.
Don't.
Look, I tried to convince you to move a long time ago. You said no.
The thread you need to pull at for moving to America, well, there's two, is the land you get so I can have a decent veggie patch and the home education laws. That's the thread you need to pull at.
You've had plenty of space for veggie patches in the past, and it's not really ever come to anything.
Yeah, but I didn't have the education then. Now I know more.
Okay. Yeah, council tax sucks. Hate it. I wouldn't mind. I have no problem. Like, I genuinely actually don't have a problem with taxation if taxation is used to actually, improve things. Great Mafia, thank you for the gifted membership. Yes, we're nearly at 50. We're nearly halfway with 20 minutes to go. Can I send you a photo of someone swimming in one of our potholes? Says Leon. I mean, that's not a pothole, Leon, at that point, is it? That's a fucking crater.
There's a picture of it on Facebook.
Yeah. Get to the point, but that is a seriously slippery slope. Before you know it, people are picking and choosing taxes.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. If we start saying, well, my parents don't need care at the moment, so the adult social care, I'm opting out of that. If we do start cherry picking, the situation will only get worse. But it just goes to show when people then start to question the system of, I don't understand. There's so many potholes. Schools are getting worse. Adult social care is getting worse. I do not understand. So now I'm starting to ask because I'm the one paying it.
Thank you so much for the gifted. Up to 48. We're nearly at halfway. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Big boy, she'll read yours out for you. You want to keep paying for education funding. We are giving exceptions in the US, and you end up with the entire neighbourhoods under-resourced and everything goes downhill. Does anywhere actually get it right, though? With the current state of the world, does anywhere actually get it right? We complain about council tax and shit like that, but, genuinely speaking, does anybody actually really get it? Is there any country, does anybody live in any country that's like, actually, Liam, I think we get it right here. We do a really good job. Because I don't know, I've heard some countries have said we do this and it's different, and I don't know, I haven't got a...
Stop your whinging and have some cash. Smiley face. Also, Geek Retreat in Southampton has closed down now, so most people use Board in the City. It's a charity cafe.
We've been to Board in the City.
I was there on Friday last week. Games Workshop in Southampton Friday last week, big boy. And that sounds like a weird thing to say. And I noticed it closed down. Kyle was there as well. He messaged me. He said, Geek Retreat's closed down. I was like, yeah, I've seen that. Board in the City is, if it's what I'm thinking of, it's just down the road where Hobby House is going to be.
We had a very interesting time at Board in the City. The first time we went, had a great time, and that's where James learnt the game Tatsu, which is this dragon game. It became his favourite board game. We went there again recently, and we ordered lunch there, and what the menu said was something like a panini and nachos. So James ordered that, and what came out was plain tortilla chips. And James is not spoiled at all. He is a wonderful little boy, and he is so bloody understanding. I could cry most days. But he looked at me, and he had a real issue with, that's not nachos. And I said, no, I know, darling, but please just eat it because I'm on my last nerve with Ben. Please just eat it. And he was like, I would love to eat my nachos, but I have not got nachos. It was like a mini Sheldon moment. Just eat it. And then
where he gets that from.
He tried to get up from the table, and I don't know if it was like a COVID hangover, but they didn't like us getting up from the table, which isn't helpful for ADHDers that need to move around and go to the bar. And then having his little bit of independence of being, I think he was 10 at the time, of I'm going to go and order my food. No, apparently I have to sit here and they're going to come to the table, so I have to sit at the table. This is feeling very much like a classroom now that I'm not allowed to get up.
I've never been into Board in the City.
It's such a fantastic place. And it is a charity cafe, and they do tons for the community. They do kids' days and all the rest. For some reason, the autism was rife that day, and the nachos versus tortilla chips conversation went on for 6 hours.
Dubai sounds good. No income tax, says Paul. Yeah, but isn't everything more expensive? Like, does it balance though? I don't know. I don't know. I also, I'd be pretty terrified. Here's the Englishman in me as well. I'd be terrified of moving to a country that doesn't speak English as its main language.
Is that because you're an arrogant Englishman?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Basically.
Glad we cleared that up.
I've tried to learn languages a lot. I did 3 at school. I've tried to learn languages. I'm not good with them at all. I'm not good with them.
You can speak French.
very tiny amount of French, not
But
enough
you
to have an
could-
actual conversation.
You could get by.
No, I couldn't.
You could,
No,
like,
I
if you
absolutely
gesture a lot as well.
Yeah, if I point and shout a bit louder, I
Gesture
can
like
get by.
Pictionary.
That one! then they'll know.
You'd be fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
speak louder.
Yeah. I want that baguette!
Eos is taxman, Ossiarch Bone Reapers. Read lore.
The Ossiarch Bone Reapers lore is fucking cool. It's evil, but it's cool. They have a bone tithe.
A what?
So the tax people in Age of Sigmar are the Ossiarch Bone Reapers. They're called Bone Reapers because they have a bone tithe. So they come to your village to collect their bone tithe, which typically means that when people die, you collect all the bones and you give them the bones, and that's you paying your tax. And they make things out of bones. They make armor out of bones.
So
and
it's
they,
reusable.
And they craft themselves out of bones. Yeah, recycling in Age of Sigmar. Right?
Ooh.
However, if you haven't got enough of your taxes, they still want their bone tithe.
What, like they're missing a femur bone or
So if
something?
they go, we want, I don't know, 20 tons of bones, or whatever it might be, right? And you haven't got enough bones, then you need to provide them with bones, or they'll destroy your whole village. So
What
people start doing is like cutting off their arms and handing them their arm. Like, is there enough bones yet? Nope. Okay. And they cut off another person's leg. Is there enough bones yet? That's what they do.
With consent?
Well, it's better than all dying.
Ah, you lost me now. That's not reusable.
Ossiarch Bone Reapers count the bones in your body when talking to mortals to see their worth. See? See? I wouldn't be able to walk down the street in Dubai and hold my partner's hand because we aren't married. I don't care how their taxes are. They can go fuck themselves. Says Chris. Bat. Speaks English, fakes it in French. You're basically Canadian. But I say a bout, not a boot. Love knowing other languages, but keep it quiet so people don't know you understand them. Talking shit, always fun.
Oh, I love these videos. They're on Facebook. There's a guy that he's lived in Japan for ages, so he speaks perfect Japanese, and he likes to go into shops in Japan and speak English just so he can hear what they're saying. And the amount of times he's caught them out smack talking him about something, and then he'll speak perfect Japanese and they don't know where to put themselves.
I can't do language.
So funny.
I can do lots of things. You know, I can't do languages. I absolutely can't do languages, chat. Not a chance. Liam has one more bone in him during the Liam and Joe show. Facts. Straight facts. Tell Liz homeschooling is super easy to do in the States. Is it though?
Apparently state by state it changes.
Yeah, I'd heard that as well. I got to cut out. Sorry I was late. Got to put some young'uns to shame running. Go on, Joe. Go enjoy yourself. Thanks, man. Why would you count bones? Doesn't mostly everyone with limbs intact have exactly the same amount of bones? Well, I guess if it's the Age of Sigmar world, wee man, they wouldn't just be talking to people, would they? They'd be talking to any number of things, I would assume. I don't know. Maybe you've already had your finger amputated because it's the old days, isn't it? It's fantasy world, and you got it trapped in something, and you've got less bones then. So you know, Lou should try and give us a language fact tonight, says Gaz. I'm into it. What are you tapping away at?
Nothing.
This is where we found out that Joe is a super polyglot. What the fuck's that? I'm shit with languages as well, says Guy. Yeah, well, I'm shit with English, to be fair. That's not have to swear. Finland, we ended homelessness. USA, you sleep on bench, you go to jail. Is that true? Finland ended homelessness. Not sure I've heard of homeschooling in Denmark. Do not believe that for 1 second, lad. Everyone can do language. It's just a case of being taught how to learn, then learning that language. I can't do it. We did it in Maryland, which is fairly regulated, and it was super easy. And I have a couple acres I could sell you. Then we could be neighbour buddies. What do you reckon, chat? Should I go be neighbours with John McArdle?
Maybe.
I can think of worse neighbours, Luce. And we get to go look at the bridge as well, don't we?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that's sad.
Can you be entertaining for a minute whilst I go for a quick wee?
No.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
No.
And when I'll come back, we'll
No.
go from 48 to
I
100.
need a wee as well. I'm going as well. For
No,
a
no,
wee.
no.
Yep, I need a wee.
I've already called it.
All the wees.
No.
I'm going.
I will throw things at you.
I need a wee more than you need a wee.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Prove it.
I've been working hard today.
Oh, you haven't. You went shopping.
Fine. Bugger off then.
I'm gonna be 2 minutes, and
You
I
won't be.
reckon you can get it from 48 to 100 in 2 minutes.
No, I won't. Chat, don't do it, please.
Someone said earlier, I think
Don't
it was
do
I think
it.
it was Stick Monkey said earlier, we only gift for loose.
No, they're not going now.
Talk to him.
I'm talking.
Keep talking to him.
I'm talking. Right. I'll read that phone book now. Where's the phone book? I hate it when he does this to me. Honestly, not bad. Anyway. Could we just buy our own town? That would be amazing. To have a whole town. Dog stream. I can't. She's... Oh, hi. No, I don't have a camera on me. So she won't. Although she's heard the word dog, so she's come over. I used to be able to speak French. Surely if you learn a language, it'll stay with you. Could you still speak French now? Bonjour. All she needs to do is come on camera. No, not happening. No boobs on stream. Not happening. Chair stream. Please take a moment to hit that like button whilst Liam tinkles and Luce crosses her legs. I don't really need a wee, Gaz. I just hate being left like this. And he knows it. I hate being left like this.
Why do you hate being left like this so much? Like, you've done it loads.
Because it's like there's no one to bounce off. There's not a person with facial expressions or gestures or...
That's my job. That's what I do.
Well, you're very good at it. Maybe that's because you're the same
average.
person that does really well in like
Average,
the
I reckon.
internet and everything.
Chris, thank you for the gifted membership. You're a legend. Evan, thank you for one more. Joe Cole's Only Feet, thank you for 10. They got you to 60, Luce, at least, didn't they? And 12 more. That's all right, isn't it? Not bad.
Clearly don't listen very well.
Genuine
Don't do
question
it,
anyway, chat. Genuine question, right? Tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow's different. The reason why tomorrow's different is Joe has to parent, which makes me sad, right? Stream content, Warhammer 10%, pissing 20%, taxes 70%. So true. Mordy Hammer, thank you for the gifted membership. You're a legend. Gremlin Death 68. What a great name. Thank you for 5 gifted. Your hero. Yeah, see, Stick Monkey says you're good at this, Lise. You are. Yes, you are.
No.
I tell you what, you talk a lot on these shows for someone who's not very good at it.
Because I'm talking to you. I'm bouncing off you. I can see your facial expressions, gestures, tone, atmosphere, all of it. My brain is interpreting all of that when there's just a chair and there's no tone of voice with chat and there's no facial expression. It's really hard.
Brandon, thank you for 5 gifted memberships. So when do we launch the Loose Solo show?
Never. Never.
Who wants a Loose Solo show?
No chat. No.
Genuine question anyway. Legitimately genuine question. Stop interrupting me with your gifteds. Actually, no, keep interrupting me with your gifteds. 30 to go, 7 minutes. Genuine question for tomorrow, right? We've got no Joe tomorrow. There is no Joe, right? Because Joe has to have his child tomorrow. He's so upset about it. I'm joking. Joe loves his kids, but it's half term. Kids are at home in the UK at the moment on half term. So because of childcare reasons, Joe has to be at home tomorrow looking after his little one. That means he's not here, which means there's no Liam and Joe show. Furthermore, the only other person available tomorrow evening was Miss of the Kyle. So there's no game stream tomorrow evening either. Okay. So we've got some options, right? Option number 1 is we do no streams. For me, not really an option. So we're not going to do that at all. Okay. So what we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to do 2 streams from here, from this room. Both at the normal timings, because I've promised you 7 streams a week. You're going to get fucking 7 streams a week, right? So I was planning to replace one of them at least with another hobby stream like Monday night, so painting, which will probably be the 13:30 one, I'd guess, right? And then 7:30 in the evening, I don't know what we do. I'm not sure where we go from there. So do you want 2 painting streams, 2 hobby streams in a day? Do you want a hobby stream in the day and then a talking heads like this in the evening? What do you want? What do you want? Excuse me. Oh my God. My throat's going today for reasons as well. I don't know why. Anyway, thank you so much for getting us up to 70 gifted, chat. You're amazing. It's incredible. 30 to go for target. That could be incredible. If you're feeling that way inclined, it'd be nice. Can we have a gnome related topic? No. Luce and Liam show tomorrow. What, tomorrow evening? Liam and Kyle show. Kyle's not available till the evening, but I'm going to be doing it here anyway. And Stick Monkey's right. The Liam and Kyle show will upset Joe. Hobby and talking stream. Hobby in the lunchtime, talking heads in the evening. We can do that. How no, not 2 hobby streams. Why not, Kai?
Luce and Kyle show. Oh, Christ. Me and Kyle have a few heart-to-hearts, don't
I'm
we?
tired of saying that Kyle's the only option, so no game streamers give me the conspiracy theories that Kyle isn't real. Yeah, he's actually just an AI voice. Which is a lie, because the Thanes have met him. Well, most of them anyway. I want you to paint your bloody knights, Liam. To call your own is the goal. Do it. I will at some point, yeah. I'm currently very much enjoying painting AOS. Very much enjoying painting AOS. Let's build some more AOS hype for the uninitiated. Go through a list of your most awesome, funny, cool lore army things from AOS. Hobby talk. Okay, we're talking hobby and then talking. Cool, I'm into it. We can do that. I'm a fan of that. We can do that. Hobby and talking heads. Yeah, let's do it. Are you about tomorrow evening for a talking head stream like this?
Yeah, can do. I was going to knit. I'm making socks. I wanted to see if I could do it, so I'm doing it.
Okay. You should do a Thane's book club stream tomorrow night. So, fucking hell. The thing is, chat, right? Here's the thing, okay? When we do evening streams specifically, I need to try and bring in topics that will bring in an audience. Because if I bring in an audience, we have a higher potential of new subscribers, we have a higher potential for monetization. If I do a Thane's book club review, I'll get about 4 people watching it, John. That's the problem. WhatsApp's broken for you, Morty Hammer. Why is that? As in the link, DM me on Discord, man. Luce's allotment lowdown.
I don't have the allotment anymore, but I am growing in the garden. I've got... What have I got in the garden? I've put my beetroot in.
Beetroot?
My
There's a tea in there, please.
My beetroot.
Beetroot.
And my garlic and my cauliflowers are finally speeding up. They were on a grow slow for ages.
A grow slow.
A grow slow.
Yeah. Oh, that was it. Okay, we're done.
That's it, yeah.
I was waiting for more.
Oh, well,
I was like, oh, she's
parsley's
finished.
out there, but parsley's like a
It's a very friendly
parsley.
line. It's a very friendly line called parsley. Right, 3 minutes, chat. I think, unless we get 10 a minute, I think we're going to do it, are we? The fuck's an audience? I said manage it without one. Oh, Sean. Wow. Wow. No messages for 2 hours. That's not possible. What, on Discord? Or on WhatsApp? Maybe it's down. Maybe WhatsApp's down.
Do you remember when Facebook went down?
I had a
the other
WhatsApp
week?
message 4 minutes ago. I feel like it's fine. Maybe a Q&A. We could do like a Q&A. The thing again, it's not like people don't come and watch that shit though. Like I've done Ask Mini Wargaming Dave anything, was I've sat with him and not many people turn up.
I hate the ask anythings.
I don't mind Ask Anythings.
I feel like it just gives licensed people to ask. It just gives people license to ask either inappropriate things or.
You don't have to answer everything, Reese.
I feel like you do because you said ask anything.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, dickhead, not that.
She's so aggressive. Do you not want to do a 40k After Dark Ask Us Anything stream on Friday?
I don't know anything about 40k.
No, but no. Fucking life.
I keep you young, don't I?
Yeah. Yeah. We raiding Joshua. We can raid Joshua. Well, I'm waiting for the 30 more gifted membership, Stick Monkey. We've not hit either target tonight. Members or super chats. Or even likes. Fuckers. Liam and Luce read our Warhammer 40k book and do a book club review. Do it on stream. Sneak it in. People will love it. Trust me on this. You've got the chemistry. If we read on the stream, we'll probably get demonetized.
Email GW that you got me into EOS.
We told, on the Liam and Joe AOS show yesterday, we told chat that we wanted Games Workshop to know that we're doing a lot of work to try and get people interested in the new age of Sigmar. We want Games Workshop to know how much work we're doing. So he said to people, email GW saying Liam and Joe got me into AOS. And people have actually, some people have actually started doing it. And some people were even tagging them on social media, weren't they, Stick Monkey? And saying, Liam's got me into AOS. I was like, oh, people are actually doing it. Whoops. Someone on their email inbox has probably got pissed off. Warhammer World. Amazing. Luke is dialed up to like, you know what grinds my gears is a subject everyone gets behind. What's that, wee man? What grinds your gears? What is it? What is it? Anyway, right. Let's see if we've got someone who we can go and have a look at. Customization, redirect. I mean, it's basically Josh, isn't it? Let's be honest. If he's still live, let me set the no, I'm not gonna set the redirect up. If he's still live when we finish the stream, we'll raid Mr. Josh and we'll go dump our orders into him. Aaron, thank you for the 1 gifted. You're a hero. Up to 71. We now got basically the same amount of pounds as gifted members. Luce can do rewrite 10th edition to make sense.
Oh,
do you reckon you could write a whole rule set?
Me?
Yeah.
For the game Snap? I could probably do like 5 rules. I've seen the rule books of 40k. I can't write that.
No?
No.
But what if you didn't need to write the rule books of 40k? You could do whatever you wanted. What if you could literally write your own rules from scratch? What would they look like?
For 40k?
Yep.
Tanks have to have Space Marines actually in them. If you're going to say the tank has them in, they have to actually be in there.
Okay, we've gone into some really granular stuff here straight away. I mean,
so then if you hit the tank has to be able to have a piece come missing off it. So then if you hit that same bit again, you could potentially hit a Space Marine.
No, you don't deserve a fact star pilot. We're at 71 gifted memberships. You don't deserve a fact at all. Do you? I've looked in my my channels that allow people to redirect to them, to raid them essentially, because you have to turn it on. You have to allow people to raid you. If you don't allow people to raid you, or you have that setting off, you just can't raid. And I've got in my 40k channels that I've got, if I go customization and I go redirect, add channel to redirect, search videos from other channels, I've got SN, War Hipster, and Play On and Art of War are the ones that I have available to me right now. So, can you slap Liam Live on stream? Give us some reinstatement. Thanks, wee man. Thanks. Oh, Land Raiders would be massive. Yeah, but they should be, right? They should be.
What else?
What's another rule?
If you're behind a wall, but your flag is above the wall, no, you didn't hit the Space Marine or whatever, you hit the flag. So it doesn't affect the model, it's the flag you hit.
All right, we're tackling the line of sight problem right here.
Lasers should be used, because then it stops people arguing. And I know
like modelling.
Yeah, I know
okay.
some people don't like the lasers, but it's a straight line.
What you all don't know is we're going to play this version of the game soon.
If your army has, for example, 100 models, all 100 have to be on the table at the start. You can't just keep getting models out. They all have to be on there.
Okay. Jacob, thank you for the gifted. Maybe one day, for a special, do Liam and Joe plays Loose Rules.
Yeah. Get it all out on the table. None of this, sneaky. No.
Get it all out on the table.
Get it all out on the table.
That's also the name of a stream.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Loose introducing common sense to 40k.
No re-rolls. If you died, you died. No re-rolls.
So does anything happen if you shoot the banner?
No, because you've shot the banner. Don't take the banner on the battlefield then. Leave it.
What if another soldier sees a shot banner and then gets sad there's a hole in his banner?
Well, toughen up. Life's hard.
Well, there you go.
So, you are a soldier.
No re-rolls. You're dead, you're dead. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Leave the banner on the coach. You don't need to. You don't need to carry it.
How are they
if you're
getting?
carrying a banner, Apparently, you're not
Right.
carrying a gun.
Apparently,
so...
soldiers get to the battlefield in the 41st millennium on coaches.
on coaches.
Yep, okay.
At the £2 price cap, thank you. We're not here to just throw money away.
Evan's like 4 out of 4. Keep going, Luce.
What else?
Let's have another rule. And she says she's not very good at this, you see.
Let me see. Must Slanesh be almost naked?
I don't think this is a game rule, though. This isn't really a game
Or
rule.
you're just giving away like your torso.
But I still don't think this is a game
Like,
rule, though, Luce.
It's really
Now
tricky
we're just getting into the gritty
to
of the
see
things that you don't
where
like.
a Space Marine starts and finishes because the head doesn't match the armor, whereas a Slanesh pretty much naked, so I know exactly where your kidneys are. I could just stab you right now because I can pretty much see them.
Go for the kidneys.
Must all the boobs be out? Can we grow up a bit, put them away for a minute? We're here to fight, not to perv.
But this isn't. I don't feel like this is really solving any game rules issue here. This is just you have a problem with boobs on stream.
It's just that many. I don't understand. Are you nursing a litter somewhere? I don't understand it.
Okay.
What else?
I don't know what that was about, chat. I don't know where we went then. I don't know why we were talking about boobs. This wasn't really a game rule, to be honest with you.
I don't think there's anything else that I've really thought. That doesn't make any sense. No, I think that's it at the minute.
Right, okay.
I feel like we're off to a good start.
That's
basis for a game
the
there.
start of Lucy's rules. Wish Joe and I luck. Anyway, people, I'll hang on for an extra 6 minutes just on the hope that some of the gifters might come through. Aaron and Jacob, you're legends for both gifting one. Thank you so much. I think we're going to end on 72, which makes me very sad. This is my sad face.
Brian, I watched Xena Warrior Princess, and my takeaway from that was, would somebody get her a hair bubble to tie her hair back? It must be getting in the way.
We said the same about Joe.
Joe wears a hair bubble.
He does.
He's here to fight. Hair needs to be out the way. It's just annoying otherwise.
Did the sad face for a bit, see if it helped.
No, it doesn't. I'm proud of you, chat, for not getting to 100. Don't do it.
That's not how this works.
Yes.
It's not how this
We have
works.
some self-respect today.
Your logic is fucking stupid. The first thing they'll go, oh, you'll be your pay. There you go. How many members for Lucy to do a full rewrite of 40k rules? Well, I don't know. Well, maybe we'll think about that.
Oh, what about performing actions? What's that? Performing actions.
So you just get rid of it then if you don't know what it is. There's no point having it, is there?
There we go. Can't be of use. Out. Get it out.
See, right choice. Right choice. Right, anyway, I think we're going to have to end on 72. You wonderful people have been hanging out here for long enough. Thank you so much. Quiet night.
Good, I'm proud of you, chat.
That doesn't make it. That doesn't make.
Self-restraint
It
and
doesn't.
self-respect.
Luce.
Love it.
Do you understand what the channel not performing means?
Yes, and I absolutely don't mind going back to a care home. I do not mind.
Trust me, that does not pay the same. I don't think your carrying wage will cover the studio.
We can try. I could do some overtime. I could just live there and always work. And then you'd have to home educate.
Luce has convinced me. Can you return my gifted membership, please? It went to a towel player anyway. Hubris D, thank you so much for the gifted. You're a legend. Anyway, right, we're going to go. We're going to say goodnight. We're going to come back tomorrow at 13:30 with the hobby show. And we're back again tomorrow evening at 7:30 with another Talking Heads for you people. Friday, we have the 8:30 40k After Dark. Thank you, wonderful people, for hanging out with us. You're all amazing people. I love you very dearly. Thank you to everyone who super chatted. Thank you to everybody who has gifted memberships as well. We've got up to 73 of the finest gifted memberships. It's been a quiet Wednesday night, which makes me sad. Why does well, it does pay the same if we don't. What? What do you mean? Anyway, thank you so much for watching, you wonderful people. Do we redirect? Do we try the raid thing? Nah, fuck it. I can't be bothered. We're going to leave the actual credits to run tonight. Right? Like I said, 2 streams tomorrow, another stream on Friday. We've then got the weekend off because it's the weekend, and we'll be back on Monday with another hobby stream. Next week, have a special guest on Tuesday.
Oh, that's come around quick.
There's no Liam and Joe AOS show on Tuesday because we have Mr. the Peachy in the studio filming the pre-recorded talk show interview with him. Questions will be going out to Thanes, or the opportunity to ask questions will go out to Thanes sometime this weekend. And then in the evening, he'll come with his guard and play 40k on stream with us as well. So excited for that one, right? Ambition is the path of the dark side. Find the light and be happy with eBay you have. With eBay you have. I much prefer the dark side. I like evil. I like world eaters. I like bad people, right? That's what I like the most. Anyway, thank you, amazing people, for watching. You're all incredible. We love you lots. And we'll hopefully see most of you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you. Oh, are you doing a fact or not? We chinned it off.
I can do.
Did you find one already?
Yeah, but if you don't want to, if you're tired, we can go.
I'm debating whether the 207 people that are waiting around deserve it.
They'll always deserve my love. You don't have to buy my love, chat.
I have to buy mine. I'm going to let you do your fact.
You're going to let me?
Yeah. And I reckon that by the time you've done your fact, we'll get to 85 new members.
No, they won't do it. Don't do it, chat.
Are you ready, chat? You good, ready?
Hang on.
Oh, fuck me. I'm still waiting.
Hang on.
Still waiting. My 85 gifted members isn't looking strong yet. Thought I'd just start coming through. We're like 74, 75, 80, 85.
Okay, I'll do the law. I found a law.
Okay.
In Iceland, it is against the law to run a marathon in less than 3 hours and 30 minutes.
Against the law?
It's against the law.
Is that an actual... I want that to be true.
You just see if it's true.
I don't know if I've ever seen any overweight people from Iceland. It's against the law. So if you enter a marathon and you don't finish it in 3 hours and 30 minutes, what happens to you?
Broke the law.
Yeah, but what's the consequence? Like,
You shall live with knowing you broke the law.
in this country, when there is a something that is a law, something legal based, it typically comes with some advisement on what is the maximum sentence, and sometimes even a minimum. Right? I'd like to know what that is for failing to run a marathon in under 3 hours and 30 minutes. Like, is it like 6 months?
You have to run it again, like Kurahi. You gotta run it again. We're doing it again.
Like, is it 6 months in prison and a 35 fight? He's like, no, run another one, you fucker. And guess what? Guess what? If you don't do that one in under 3 hours and 30 minutes, you're off again. You're just constantly fucking looping.
Perpetually marathoning.
That's where the film Forrest Gump came from. It's just constantly running all the time until, like, you failed it again. Off you go.
Did it.
It's like when I was in PT in the army, right? Not quick enough. Off you go again. Like fucking running Kurahi. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Right. I was like, we'll get a couple more there. Nothing. You're all fuckers. Right? Don't know why I bother. Thanks so much for watching. Maybe a bit. And we'll see you. Oh, I thought you might say it then.
In the next one.